Hello, my lords and ladies. Back for episode 2 of our Warcrow series. Don't mind the smokiness of this miniature. It's just adding to the mystical shot of this elf ranger. First off, as always, I want to thank all my YouTube members. You guys are absolutely amazing for your very charitable contributions to the channel to help support it. Can't thank you guys enough. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up, leave me a comment, hit the bell so you get alerted. We're also doing our first D&D live stream tomorrow, hopefully, if everything goes according to plan. But without further ado on this video, let's go. Now the first thing I do with most of my miniatures is prime them in white. You can do gray seer, you can do white scar, you can do whatever you want, but I do it in white. We're going to be using some striking scorpion green, and in that first frame of this video I posted the picture of the art from the game. So we're going to take all the backside of that cape that is littered in leaves and putting this nice green on there, and that white will stick through, giving it a natural highlight where you don't need to do any highlights on this. It looks fantastic. For the underside of the cape, we're going to do some Gore Grunta Fur. Now this is a very strong color, but when you put it underneath, it's going to sit in all those recesses and give it a natural highlight with the white as well. For all of the armor on our Wildling, we're going to use some Creed Camo. Just be careful when you obviously put these speed paints on, because you don't want to get into places where it's going to be hard to clean up. So just take your time on it, enjoy the paint, put on a book, listen to some music, or just listen to nothing and be in your own head. Whatever you want to do. For the pants of the legs, we're going to do some skeleton horde real quick. For the boots and the belt, we're going to do some Snakebite Leather. And again, this is going to stick in the recesses, and that's what you want. Don't take your speed paints and put them on thinly. Get a nice dollop of paint on your brush and just put it on there. And it'll seep into all the recesses, and that's exactly what you want. And that's what creates that natural contrast with the white. For the bottom vine, I'm going to do some basic Dark Angel's Green. You could also do some Gut Rip of Flesh. This gives it a very shiny look, which I'm not opposed to, because I think vines would be shiny like in the jungle. Now our Wildling is obviously living in the wild, and we're going to take a look at that card art and see that the Wildling's hair looks like tree branches. So we're going to put some Wyldwood on there, and again, put it into the recesses. Try not to get it onto the skin of the face. It's going to take you a little bit extra time to cover that up with some Cadian Fleshtone we're going to be doing here in a little bit. For the bow on our Wildling, we're going to do some Garaghak's Sewer. That's even how you say it. And we're also going to put this on the wood portions of the arrows. For all of the fletchings on our arrows, we're going to use some Basilicanum Grey. And we're also going to use this on the 2 swords that our Wildling has on the backside. Now I think these 2 things are like pouches. They almost look like giant hazelnuts or something. But we're going to use some Cygor Brown on these 2. We're going to jump back to the Snakebite Leather and use that onto the pouch. And then coming down to the end of our base painting, we're going to do some Cadian Fleshtone on all of the face, neck, ear area. Once you're done with that, this is an optional step that you'll see here in a second, but I like to put some white into the eye sockets of whatever I'm painting before I do the wash. Now, a lot of your wash is going to get caught into those eye sockets and the recesses, so it's not necessary. It just kind of gives me a base point of what I want to see when I'm creating those eyes, because those, in my opinion, are some of the most difficult things to paint on miniatures. Alright, the first thing we're going to do is some Reikland Fleshshade on all of our flesh avi. And then we are going to do some Agrax Earthshade. Now you could really, if you wanted to, put this all over the entire miniature because it is a wildling, wooded creature, lives out in the wilderness. This is a wood-based color in my opinion. It's an Earthshade, nature, go figure. And I'm going to put this a lot onto even the green areas, the cape area, anywhere I feel that this is going to give it a little bit more depth in the future. This shot was terrible, but I'm going to use some Agrilian Earth on the base while the washes are drying, and this can dry. You can put whatever base you want. This one turned out mediocre at best. Alright, once everything is dry except for the base, you don't need that to be dry right this second because it'll dry as you're painting the rest of the miniature. We're going to do the highlight step. And the first thing we're going to do is just do a reapplication of the base paint of Cadian Fleshtone. Now we're going to focus on our forehead, the nose, the ears, the cheekbones, the chin, and just work your best on, if you're staring at the miniature, the right side of the face. It is kind of difficult because you can't really see anything. And to brighten up just a little bit, do a 50-50 mix of Kislev and Cadian Fleshtone and slap that on there real quick. And then if you are not as satisfied as you want to be, you can also put some pure Kislev flesh on there, thinned of course, and brighten up just a little bit. Just don't overdo it. Now this is an optional step as well. You could probably call it right here if you want it and be just fine, but I'm going to put a little bit of Loren Forest on several of these, I guess, pieces of armor. And then for the eyes, a little bit more white, followed by little dots of black in there. Now, like we were talking earlier, this is a woodland creature, or woodland elf. So you could do this on a lot of the miniature and you'd be just fine. I'm going to take a little dry brush of Gorthor Brown. I'm going to do the bow, a little bit in the hair. You could even do it on the green tunic if you wanted to. It's up to you. Now, to brighten up the leather areas just a little bit, we're going to take some XV88. Now, we don't want to overdo this. I'm just doing this on the raised areas. Again, nothing crazy on this. Picking out some raised areas, doing a little bit of edging. Nothing to overdo us to overpower the natural highlights that the Snakebite Leather already gave off with the white. So don't go crazy on it. You don't need to go over the top. It doesn't really need it. I just wanted to add some depth and some flavor to it. Your favorite part of painting the miniature, because it means we're almost done. We have another frame after this, but we're going to do the whole rim of the base in black per usual, but you can do whatever you would like. Now, as I said earlier, the Agrax Earth was not that great. I didn't like how it turned out. It cracked. The white was underneath. You should paint brown underneath it beforehand. I just wanted to see a different technique I was trying out. So I put the Agrax Earth on there, and then I'm going to cover it in Agrax Earthshade. Turned out okay. Not bad. But not the best either. So you can pick and choose if you want to do this or not. And this is how it turned out in our smoky video of this miniature. I don't know why that came out so bad. My fingerprint must have been out or something. Whatever. Anyways, thank you for watching. Thank you to all my YouTube members. You guys are absolutely amazing. All my subscribers. Anybody who watches this, I can't thank you enough. This is a hobby of mine, and I love doing it. Again, we are doing a D&D video coming up hopefully tomorrow if everything goes right. So tune into that. Hopefully you get notification, and hopefully see you there. All right, until next time, paint on.